Hi, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video. Now if you've considered buying a category S or category N car, then this video is definitely for you. Now I'm going to give you 3 good reasons why buying a category car could save you a lot of money and it could be a good idea. Now I'll also explain exactly what is meant by a category car and how you can protect yourself in the process. Also, if you wait till the end of the video, I'll be making an announcement that is going to save quite a bit of money as well. Now if you like the video, hit the like button, and if cars are your general thing, then why not consider subscribing. I'm Pete Austin and this is all about cars. Okay then, so when it comes to buying a category car, and that could be a Cat S or a Cat N, a lot of people, and I was included in that, when it comes to looking through the ads and you'd see a cat against it, I'd just scroll straight past. But not anymore, and I'm going to give you 3 good reasons as to why you should consider looking at one of those cars. And the fact is, I'm going to prove it by, are you getting a worse car than one that isn't catted? Now the benefits of buying a car that's been catted are obvious in that they are generally cheaper to buy, so you can get more for your money. Well, first of all, what is a cat? When it comes to a Cat S, that means structural, so most of the time that would probably involve a collision of some description, and it's damaged structural part of the body. When it comes to the N, which is non-structural, that can range from anything from poor paintwork, damage to the panels and might need changing, or in the case of the one that I'm going to show you, the Clio, none of the things applied to it other than the fact that someone had stole parts of the front end. Now I'll show you around what I mean by that and what we've actually done to this car, and then we'll discuss the other car that isn't catted, and I'll show you that, and then we'll go through which car is probably better to buy. Now the amount of money that you can save on a catted car is between 20 and 30% of the retail value, and that's why it's always a good idea not to just scroll past them, because some of these cars, especially this one, have been repaired to a very high standard, and when you're buying a car that isn't catted, there's no guarantee, which I'll show you, that you're getting what you think you're getting. Now I would always recommend that whether it's a catted car or non-catted car, you do due diligence and do lots of checks on that car that you're buying. So for instance, there's plenty of websites on the internet that can tell you everything about the car, whether it's been an insurance write-off, it will show you photos if it has, and whether it's got any finance holding against it, and obviously it will also tell you whether the mileage is correct or whether it's got some sort of discrepancy. So it's always best to do the checks, and there are lots of them out there. Now this video isn't a sponsored video, so I could name quite a few. Car Vertical for one, Vehicle Check for another. And regardless of what car you go out to buy, I would definitely recommend that you do that. So let's look at the two cars. Well, first of all, we'll look at what has been done on this particular car, and then we'll look at the two cars and do a comparison. So let's get straight to it, and I'll show you what we've been doing. When we got this car delivered to us, it looked like this, and now it looks like this. So as you can see from the first photo, the car came to us without the front end. The front end had been, like I said, stolen. We had to replace the bonnet, the bumper and the lights, and obviously replace the window, the passenger side window that had been broken, for them to be able to get in, open the bonnet and take the parts. Now, from an insurance point of view, they would have to go through the official Renault parts, and then add all the labour on and the spraying and so on, and that bumps up the costs from an insurance appraisal. Hence it becomes uneconomical to repair, and the car unfortunately gets wrote off and becomes a Cat N in this case, because non-structural damage or non-structural issue with the car. Now for us, or for anyone else who's buying a car from Copart or an auction like that, then as long as you can do the work yourself, you can save yourself quite a lot of money. So let's go past. Now in our case, we bought a brand new bonnet from a factory that was already primed. We bought a bumper from a breaker's yard, and we bought the lights. Now we fitted them and had them all resprayed. We've done a pretty good job, and in all fairness, it's just a matter of putting the panels on once they've been sprayed up, and the outcome, the car looks fantastic. Now the next bit is important on the video, so keep watching and I'll explain a bit more. So when you look at this Clio, there was actually no damage to the car other than the window was broken, so that they could open the bonnet and take whatever it is that they wanted to take. The reality of it is, if you woke up one morning and your car was on bricks, someone just stole your wheels, you just go and replace the wheels, put new wheels on, and it's exactly the same car, other than the fact that it's got new wheels. There's nothing wrong with the car whatsoever. And that's what's really happened to this car. Although it wasn't the wheels, some thieving little gits decided to smash the window, take the bumper, the bonnet and the lights. The bumper, the bonnet and the lights have been replaced. So it's exactly the same car, other than the fact that it's had a new bumper, bonnet and lights. Everything else will drive and be exactly the same. So when it comes to Cat Ns, as long as you know what the actual damage or issue was with the car, then that should give you some sort of idea of what has been done to it. And in this case, and there's lots of them out there like it, there isn't a lot of difference between it being a write-off and when it wasn't, other than the fact that it's got a shinier bonnet. So you can see where I'm coming from on that. When it comes to structural damage, that's a different kettle of fish, and obviously your due diligence would have to be a little bit more in depth and take into account what the work and how good the work has been done. But things like this, it's just things that are being replaced, panel, and the car is exactly the same car. There's absolutely nothing wrong with the car. But you're going to get the car at a lot lesser price. So that's worth considering. Also, when you look at it, is the car will probably have had a lot more work done to it to bring it up to a better standard than someone just backing the car and saying, my car's up for sale, do you want to buy it? So it is always a good idea to look at category N cars and see what sort of bargains you can get. And bear in mind also, if you've got a budget of say £5,000, then you're saving 20 or even 30% on a car. You can increase the age of the car, the spec of the car, and you'll get more actually for your money. Okay, now let's have a look at what I mean by the two different cars, whether it's catted or non-catted. Okay, so there's two cars there. One's catted, a cat N, and one isn't. Which one would you buy? Right then, so you looked at both cars. The BMW's a non-catted car, the Renault a cat N. Now, I'd imagine most people will say, I'll buy the non-catted car. And before I did this project on catted cars, I would be of the same opinion. But this has definitely changed my mind. Now, I did say at the beginning of the video, I'll prove to you that buying a cat N car or catted car could be a good option. And I'm going to prove that to you right now. So, most people, like I say, would go for the non-catted car. Now let's have a look at that non-catted car. Now, the BMW, that's my wife's car. We bought that car with an engine failure, and it's a 1.6 diesel N47 engine. So they're noted for timing chains to go. And when we bought that car, the engine was completely shot. So we had to have the engine rebuilt from the ground up. And we used a specialist company to have the engine rebuilt. Now, BMW, to buy a brand new engine from BMW, that would cost an absolute fortune. And if you could claim on an engine, then in that sense the car would have been wrote off, would have been not cost effective to repair the car. But we had it repaired and we spent the money and did it. Now all that, what we did on the BMW is on the channel, and I'll leave a link in the description below. Also, in our ownership on that BMW, there was an issue, and this is what I'm trying to explain. Now, you don't know exactly what you're buying unless you do those in-depth checks, and in this case it wouldn't really matter anyway, because someone had drove right into the middle of the car, the doors, and completely wrote the two doors off. So as you can see, both doors are damaged, and so is the bottom sill. And if you get in closer, you can see they're in quite bad condition. The panels are quite rippled. Now, we didn't see the people who did it, so it was a case of we're going to have to go through our insurance. But when we looked at it in depth, I knew that I could buy those doors second hand, the proper colour, for less than it would cost on my excess. So it wasn't really worth going through the insurance. So that's exactly what we did on that BMW. We sourced the doors in the right colour and the right colour code, and my son took the doors off, replaced the doors and mopped it, and you couldn't tell at all that that car had had any damage to it. But had we gone through the insurance, then most certainly it would have been wrote off, because the cost of the new doors from BMW, and then having it resprayed, and then having the spray sort of blended in, the labour cost and the cost of the materials would have exceeded the 50% value, retail value of that car, and that BMW would have been wrote off. So you would have picked that BMW over the Clio because it's not wrote off. But you don't know exactly what the history is with a car when you buy it, unless it's been recorded. Now that car hasn't been recorded, and it looks fantastic and it drives fantastic, and the engine is fantastic as well. But you're going to pay the full price for it. Whereas the Clio, now the Clio, obviously I've shown you the work that we've done on that. Now you're going to save at least 20% of the retail value on that car. So if the car was £8,000, you're going to save £1,600 straight away. And with the budget that you've probably got, you're going to be able to buy a newer car or better spec car. This is the reason why I'm saying it may be a good option to actually look at a catted car, as long as you do your due diligence and do your checks on the car. Now, I'm going to let that car go. This is an opportunity. We're going to let that car go. Don't forget all the work that we've done on it, the labour that we've put into it, and all the work. We had the new brakes on it, new discs, new pads, service, all the new parts, all sprayed, the time and effort it took us to do that. And then it's got an MOT, no advisories. And we're going to let that go for just £1. No, not selling the car for £1, for just £1 profit. £1 profit, all that work. Now that is an absolute bargain. And the way to get that car, if you're interested, is to look at the video that we did recently, and it goes through all the costings of the car and what we did to the car, to the Clio. And if you can look at those prices, that costing, and offer me £1 profit, then you can have the car. Simple as that. An absolute bargain for someone out there. All you need to do is look at that video and offer me £1 above. We don't want to make a loss on the profit on the car, so a £1 profit and you can have the car. All that work that we did for just £1. So I hope that I've achieved what I wanted to achieve in this video and given you 3 good reasons to buy a catted car. Now if you like the video, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video. Keep right on.